What's going on, good people? Rich here.
School here. What's happening?
Back at it again with another episode of the Culture Garden Podcast.
Yes.
Continuing our best episode ever series with Martin Season 4. Once again, thank you for continuing to listen to us, tune in, give us some feedback. It's been fun watching Martin consecutively. Like really watching all of it together and the things that I'm noticing because as we mentioned last week, we just spent so much time in syndication that you just episode here, episode there. So seeing them all in a row, I haven't done that in a long time where I just sat down and watched all the seasons. So it's been fun doing that. So we appreciate y'all continuing with the ride. Today, obviously, we're on season 4. So we got season 4 going. Then we have season 5 next week and the finale following. For those of you who are just now watching or might not be all the way caught up, what we're doing is each season we are going through each episode and we're talking about our list, making the best 5. And at the end, each one of us gets to pick an episode that we're going to take, or we might agree on it. Season 2 had a little bit of a rule, and season 3 we added Illfield. So
shout out to Illfield.
Definitely, always. So just to recap what's going so far to the finals. Season 1, you had the Great Pain Robbery. I had Your Arms Are Too Short to Box with Martin. Season 2, we both had No Justice, No Peace, but since season 2 was the GOAT, we decided to give 2 episodes another shot. Guard Your Grill and Really Gina's Not My Lover. Those are in the mix. And season 3, we had Girlfriend, which was your choice, and The Closer I Get to You, which was mine. And Illfield has submitted her list, and nothing going on but the rent.
Yep.
So those are our episodes so far. We got 2 more seasons. Before we get into our episodes for season 4, one thing that I wanted to talk about or forgot to talk about last week, and obviously want to have that conversation with you, is who Martin was in 1995 and 96. This season 4 happens in 95, 96. Just who he was compared to 92, 93 during season 1 of Martin. Because, you have even what's happening now, if you want to go back that far, but Talking Dirty After Dark, House Party, Boomerang, all of that was kind of going on, what he was known for. Def Comedy Jam, which was huge. I don't know. We gotta find the proper way to discuss Def Comedy Jam on this podcast because it was. I remember us being kids renting Def Comedy Jam and just getting weak, man. But Martin was a star, obviously enough to get his own show. But 95, 96, what do you remember about that era of Martin?
I remember him being a little bit more Hollywood, and I don't mean that in the sense of like
his head was blown up. He was a star.
He was a star. He really was. Like,
one thing I like to remind people is that he was first billing on Bad Boys.
Yeah.
So 95, the first thing I think of when I think of Martin is Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Him and Will. Because you have 2 of the, you can rank them how you want to, but definitely most memorable, most iconic sitcoms of the 90s, black people. It was those 2. It's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and it was Martin. Yes. So when you put them in a movie and it's R-rated and you get to see a different side of Will, and we knew Martin was on that. He want to do that on the Martin show. He probably wish it was on HBO or something like that. But to see that was just huge. And he was first billing. He got Will on. I'm sure people have heard that story. And from, even season 4, they reference the movie we recently just did on the Culture Garden podcast. Shout out to Rachel. Thin Line Between Love and Hate. They referenced it in season 4 because he wrote it, directed it, and starred in it. And it came out in 1996 while this season was airing. Something wild I meant to say last week. There was a point in time where Cream, the episode Cream in season 3, came out on a Thursday, and Bad Boys came out the next day. Like, that's nuts. Like, Martin was just everywhere. Like, he was everywhere. And then
killing it.
Even after the show, the stuff that he went on to do. So I think this era, this season 3, season 4 was the time where Martin hit that second gear. Like, he hit that other level.
Definitely without Martin, you wouldn't get Big Mama's House. You won't even know he had the ability to do that without, without Mama Pain.
Nah, that's real. That's real. And that was a big movie when it came. I got my thoughts about Big Mama's House.
So do I.
We'll talk about that one day. Who knows when, but we'll talk about that one day on the pod. I like to look at these episodes. I like to look at these seasons just kind of like from a theme standpoint. Like I said, watching them in order, you just kind of get to see it. And one thing I noticed was seasons 1 through 3 I think that was the beginning and bookend of the love story that they wanted to tell.
Yes.
I think they told that story that they wanted, and then season 4 they were just having fun.
Just having fun.
You can tell, like,
goofing around
in the first few episodes how many times Martin's breaking character, and it's not. They don't even care to like take it again. Like, it's funny. Like, the show is funny. It's known for those moments.
Yes. And
they just went with it. I think Garen Keith being the director of each episode has a lot to do with that, because they know what to expect. There's a lot of consistency.
Absolutely.
And yeah, man. Like, one of my favorite moments. The episode didn't make my list, but your hair looking the bomb.
I say your hair looking the bomb.
Like, he messed up that line, but he just had to keep going with it.
Great iconic scenes, like just what Martin's known for. Those great scenes. There's plenty of them in season 4. Plenty of them.
Absolutely. And the cast was just on a roll.
Yeah.
They were just, the chemistry was there.
Yes.
Like I said, you can tell that Martin had spent time doing Bad Boys and doing other projects, probably Thin Line, filming that. And like I said, he directed that. That took a toll on him. If anybody knows about Martin in that time, it was just a lot. But he
hasn't directed since.
Yeah, he hasn't directed since. But yeah, they season 4 was just fun. That's the one. That's the word I use to describe it. It was fun. You got new theme music, which we had new theme music last week. It was like a remix of seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I know a lot of people, because of Def Comedy Jam, think that Kid Capri is making those noises. That's Carl Anthony Payne.
What?
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that. Damn. Shout out to Cole.
Yeah, shout out to Cole. Like I said, having fun. Act like you're chilling. Act like you're chilling. Like, that stuff is that was one of my favorite running jokes.
Yes.
Just because especially the episode with Michelangelo. Girl, would you act like you're chilling?
Would you act like you're chilling?
Hey, comedy. They committed to it, and they took everything that was good about Martin and funny and just ran with it. Yes. Tommy not having a job, everything.
Not only did they run with it, they did your typical sitcom episodes, but they did it in their style. Like, you let Martin be Martin. You let him ad-lib as much as possible. So, and he did in classic. And not only was he, you could tell Tashina, Tisha, everyone was ad-libbing, and they was killing it. It was great.
It's crazy not crazy to see it, but it's really fun to see Tisha's just comedic growth.
Yes.
As this series goes on, because she gets so much funnier. Like, she just is naturally funny. Like, a lot of it, I was thinking a lot of season 4 the stuff, it needs her to be on point like that to work.
Yeah.
She killed it. She delivered every time. Yes. And Tashina's always, at this point, her and Martin is just like clockwork. And Thomas Michael Ford, he always was clicking. And listen, shout out to Carl Anthony Payne, but like I said, when you watch these in order, you see how much he's just not around. Yeah. Season 3 made a little sense because, like we said, the love story and the Tommy and Pam dating. But season 4 was like, dang, like 3 of my 5 episodes, I think, don't have Colin.
Yeah.
And I dare say it, I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No offense to Cole or to that character, but I didn't. I just didn't mind it. They were still good episodes.
Absolutely.
But like I said, seasons 4 and 5 are just a different show than seasons 1 through 3. But that's still great. They're still great.
Amazing TV.
Yeah. And when you're comparing it to we're comparing Martin to Martin.
Yep.
So our seasons 4 and 5 aren't our favorites, but they're still better than 90% of the sitcom episodes that are out there.
Facts.
In our opinion. So whose turn is it to go first this week?
I believe it's mine.
This is your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then. So here's what before we get into that, I always do this. I always forget this. Favorite holiday episode? There wasn't one.
There was. Technically, there was one. Swing thing. That was based on Christmas. That was a Christmas episode.
Yeah, but it was a week before Christmas. We ain't count.
Well, they use it, but they use Christmas in the episode.
They got Christmas tree and stuff, but I don't count that as a holiday episode. Varner Hill Award.
Sherman Hemsley.
Close second is Christopher Frank White Wallace. But Sherman Hemsley.
Shout out to that's my
dog. Big as
that wasn't even my second. My second was Roy Fegan. Roy Fegan did his thing, man.
Yeah, and for real, Michael Collier. Like a lot of people did their thing.
Yes,
a lot of people did their thing.
Shout out to Michael Collier, man.
And can I say real quick, shout out to Luis and just bringing him in the mix. Like Luis always delivers in his episodes, and they did the classic TV move of having somebody who played the character in the previous season come back as somebody completely different.
Yeah.
But he was always a handyman, so that's what makes it funny.
That is true.
If anybody remembers, he was in season 2 in the Is that the Got to Be There episode?
Yeah,
Got
Chicago.
to Be There.
Yeah, he drove to Chicago. He was the maintenance man in Chicago.
Absolutely. So now let's get into the list. Since you're going first, go through your honorable mentions. But what I would like you to do is save the ones that were like borderline top 5 for the end.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I just want to know the ones that you kind of was like, oh. Okay. So let's get it.
Kill 'Em With Kindness. Ring a Ding Ding Gone. Love TKO. Old School Lovin'. Coal on Ice. Housekeeper from Hell. And then when these bottom 3, these last 3 that I'm about to say was the 3 that was in and out.
Okay.
Swing Thing, Cabin Show, Heading for Trouble.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. I knew I was gonna catch it. I knew I was gonna catch it. Whoa. Yeah, Heading for Trouble is not in my top 5.
Y'all hear him?
It's not. Go ahead, man.
Hold on. No, we're gonna have this episode. We're gonna have this conversation when we talk about top 5s. But I really want to know your reasoning. But we'll have the conversation. It's funny because a lot of your honorable mentions weren't on my honorable mention list. Okay. Like they didn't make my top 5 either. Okay. They're enjoyable episodes. Yeah. Because I got to about 13 and then I trimmed it down. Maybe 15 or 16.
Yeah. I got the 15.
But that was just interesting. Honorable mentions for me: Martin in the Corner Pocket, Kill 'Em With Kindness, Love TKO, Uptown Friday Night. Shout out to Illfield. Every time I see this episode, I think of her because she loves the outtake at the end. If a duck can pull a truck, then shut the fuck up. That's Illfield's part. The Bodyguard. Homie on Juliet was one that I know it's not a popular Martin episode, like as far as I think people can maybe look at it in a different light, but I really enjoyed it.
Who thinks it is? That's
it's funny. It's just I enjoy the creativity behind it and Martin being Martin, like you said. Martin, I Want to Sing, and these are the 2. That's a Boo episode for you. All right. Just Martin being the manager, just that thought and the whole concept. But yeah, it's in my honorable mention. But the 2 that 5, 6, and 7. So these ended up being 6 and 7. Swing Thing and Green Card.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah. Green Card was
Green Card. Come on, man.
Yeah,
tripping, bro. I ain't doing this.
Bro, hold on. You got Heading for Trouble, bro. You got Heading for Trouble.
Doing this with you, bro. All right, man.
You got Heading for Trouble out in your honorable mention, bro. Stop talking to me.
It's a reason why.
All right, we'll talk about it. So, but don't even think about my list. Number 5, man. Let's get to it, man. Let me hear this top 5.
Number 5 is Blow Baby Blow.
Okay.
And obviously the reason is it's a Biggie episode. Shout out to Biggie.
Mm-hmm.
That's honestly the only reason why I took Heading for Trouble out my top 5 is just to honor Big.
No, I mean it's your list. I respect it. You know what I mean? But damn, bruh. There's a lot of episodes. That's both Green Card is one of the episodes I took out for Heading for Trouble, bruh. Yeah. Anyway, man.
But yeah, man, that's it. Biggie. And one of my favorite parts of this episode is the very beginning when Biggie talking about people be knowing me, and Martin's like, you know me like a mug. People be knowing me, yeah.
All right, man. I'm still thrown off by you, bro. Number 5 for me is episode 23. The Tooth Will Set You Free. March 28th, 1996. Written by Darcel Blackman. It is just this one. It was outside of my top 5 4 hours ago with Green Card. Green Card was in my top 5. And then I debated those 2, and Martin is Pam and just
I like
comedy.
This. I like this.
But you know why? You know why? You know why it's so low and why it's almost didn't make it? And this is nitpicking, but you have to do that with Martin because these episodes are so good. I did not like the dentist, bro. I didn't like the dentist. And I know that's nitpicking. I just didn't like the actor. I didn't like what he brought to the episode and the fact that he had 2 scenes. Like, you filling up time with something I can really put Green Card in for or something else. But their comedy, Pam and Martin playing off each other, the final scene, like when they kick everybody out, but everything leading up to that alone got it into the top 5.
All right, man, that's good.
You got Heading for Trouble in your honorable mention. Stop talking to me.
Hey, that's crazy.
Crazy. Number 4 for you.
The Bodyguard.
Okay.
Written by Jackie Edmonds.
Okay.
I thought this was gonna be in my top 2. It is an all-time favorite of mine.
I will say, for everybody out there, big Otis fan.
Yes, that's my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Pam was amazing in this episode, especially when it came to the Pamela James ain't seen nothing, man. Yeah. I done told y'all, like just that.
That's how it would be too.
And then just you're not gonna tell me this was written down when Otis is talking about it. I just protected 2 honey dips like you just last month. Everything turned out right. Shit, she said everything turned out right. Yeah, no, but they sure as hell served some good food at the funeral now, girl. Yeah. Hey, Otis was a fool, man. Yeah. And don't tell that man, don't call that man old.
Don't call him old.
Do that.
But yeah, Otis on it, man.
Hey, them bullets hut.
Otis don't creep no more. Hey. I know that. All right, man. You got anything else to say about that?
Nah.
All right, I got episode 4.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
When they was roasting each other, even that, bro. Martin, even when he get into another character, he's on Pam's ass. Mm-hmm. Like she was talking about his Coke bottle glass. He said, "That's why the criminal's on your ass, man." Yeah, like straight up. Like I can walk out of here right now. They ain't on me.
Yeah, that's why the criminal's on your ass, man. That's a classic line right there. Classic moment.
But yeah, man, that's it.
All right, number 4 for me, episode 3, Blow Baby Blow, September 23rd, 95. School just talked about it. Written by Darius Rollins. Big, of course. That's the first thing on my list. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a whole fan, like to the max. Like when people think of Jay-Z, I should be one of the first people they think about. Like that's how much
he used to look like him.
Nah, that's how much I'm a fan of Hov. But Big is my second favorite rapper, like easily. And Big just being in this episode, man, Big just had such a dope personality.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that just always it came through his music. It just came through anything you saw him in, and he did a lot with this. The fact that they can play with themselves is pause. That's kind of crazy. My bad. The fact that they can play off their own show and their own jokes. Hey, you stupid, bro.
Yeah,
my bad. Yeah. The Hammer joke, man. Hammer was on the season. He was on the show last year. Obviously, he was on Cream.
Yes. Classic episode.
Yeah, I bet Nipsey's Tootsie Roll would be jumping too.
Oh,
they talk about Tootsie Roll. I bet Nipsey's Tootsie Roll contest would probably be jumping. Yeah. Anytime they say something about that, I think about it. And everybody was just killing this episode. Like, for me, the moment was when Pam came on stage at the end.
Man.
When I think of home, like the fact she was really into that, and even when she saw Biggie and did
that whole that swag was crazy because that's what cats was really doing. Mm-hmm. Like young kids, that's what they was doing, bro.
That's real. And so, shout out to this episode. That's my number 4.
Let's go. Number 3. Romeo and Juliet, nigga. What are you talking about? Nobody like Romeo and Juliet.
I'm not saying they don't, but top 5?
Top 5. Roy Fegan was in here fooling.
He was in
here fooling. What'd he tell Martin? Then he should watch with his eyes and listen. And not with his mouth. Hey, Martin was on his ass. Of course, the Pam versus Martin, which you at your age and not your height. It's so difficult. And then when your boy came in wet after falling, it's so difficult to say farewell to yesterday. Come on, man. Hey, Vegan, man, did his thing.
Time out, man.
One thing. What?
No, go ahead. Finish. I want you to finish all your thoughts.
One thing we love about Martin is anyone, I would say, disrespecting him or him feeling disrespected. Mm-hmm. And Roy Fegan was what was his name? James Earl Jackson.
James Earl Jackson, man.
Was very, very, very disrespectful, according to Martin. So we had to,
yeah, you got it all out. Did you say everything you wanted to say about this episode?
As much as I'm going to say, man.
The only reason I wanted to, because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about Romeo and Juliet. It's a great episode. It's in my honorable mention. But you kicked out Heading for Trouble for that?
Yes.
Romeo and Juliet is better than Heading for Trouble.
Yes. To me, it's my list. It's my list. Yes, it is.
Man, get him.
Yes.
Get him, please. Episode 3 for me. Episode 17, Kick to the Curb. February 8th, 1996, written by Sam Art Williams.
You put this in your top 5?
Absolutely.
All right, man,
absolutely.
I respect it. This your top 5.
First of all, it's on site with Luis forever. Forever. Anytime I see Luis, I'm putting hands on him. Like, I'm on the streets, bro. You gave away my apartment. I gave you cash, and you return. And they come down talking about some you down and Nipsey's buying everybody. Come on, bro. On site forever.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care how old we are, bro. Every time I see you, I'm putting hands on you. That's for starters. Martin was just fooling this episode, man. The whole concept of renting out. First of all, it was a genius idea. You can't do that. Hella illegal. Most apartments wouldn't let you sublease and live in the same building.
Yeah.
But just the whole plot and them playing different characters to get these people out of their crib. Like Martin, when he's showing them the apartment, they used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman. Like, shout out to Lean on Me and Joe Clark. Like, that whole moment was funny because Martin ad-libbed that. You could tell. You can look at his face. Tommy Dynamite, the way he came in, him and Pam or Tashina in that scene between Tommy Dynamite and P Funk. I mean, that's just comedy. Like, that acting. Great acting, beautiful. Yeah, the Bookers to throw them into the mix. Yeah. When they were outside, even when they were first outside, I'm like, we on the streets, and Pam tried to get off me.
Hey,
like,
remember? I think that was Tommy came up to him.
Word on the street, y'all on the street.
Yeah,
man. So that's in my
See how I respect it.
I respect it. I like Homie on Juliet, but my goodness, you left that episode out. All these episodes in your top 5. One of them could have bumped.
My number 2. You're really about to be mad.
All right, man, go ahead.
The Green Card. That's a classic.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that at all.
It took everything in my power not to put this as my number 1. The Green Card.
That's just not all right. I'm not mad at it. It's all right. Go ahead. Talk about it.
Listen. First off, let me say one thing that Black people are going to do is act like we know how to speak Spanish. When Gina's on that phone trying to get to Louise, leaving the voicemail, is agua everywhere. And she was too smart not to know a little Spanish.
She knew agua.
Yeah. When Martin asked Pam, "What you getting sued?" When she said she needed $5,000, you getting sued for biting somebody?
Yeah, that shit was funny.
Martin, man, he was just on her ass at all corners, bro.
Yeah, without question.
Can't marry your donkey. What the kids gonna look like?
Hold on, Luis. Whoa.
Pam not paying taxes since 1984. That's ridiculous.
The fact that she even got that long without some kind of repercussion. And the fact that you only owe 5 racks.
Yeah, you need to go to jail, Pam. He was stripping. Straight up.
And Luis had it. Hey, he stayed robbing tenants.
Louise had it,
Louise had it.
Hey, he said, Pam said, ain't gonna be no fooling around between me and you. So quit worrying about the honeymoon and get me my money soon. Mm-hmm. Hey, Pam was dope, man.
Yeah, Pam killed this episode. The way she was eating those chips walking down the aisle.
What's wrong with Tommy? Oh, he used to be Pam's owner before Louise.
Classic moment, bro.
I now pronounce you Chico and the Man. Come on, let's go. And one thing about Martin, you only get a limit. If you told him it's gonna be an hour, we're gonna be doing this wedding thing for an hour, you mean an hour. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that's an hour, and that's it.
That is it.
And I think that was the nicest he ever kicked somebody out.
It was.
It was nice to see ever kick somebody out.
It was. Yeah.
They was killing it on the dance floor too.
In one big litter. Yeah. At the wedding. I said it. That's one of my favorite lines of the season.
Not even of the season. That's one of my favorite Martin lines. I said it. Yeah, I said it at the wedding. I said it. Yeah, straight up. Yeah. Listen, great episode. Yeah. I love that episode. That's my the top 5. It's number 6. It's my 6th man, but number 2, it's your list. It's your list. Like you said, it's your list. Yeah. My number 2, episode 12, Heading for Trouble. December 10th, 1995, written by Michael Carrington. The Nefertiti 2000. Let me just say, Gina turning that corner with that headboard is an all-time Martin show moment. All time. And it never gets old. The whole concept of, Martin just being that super, as you said, toxic masculinity. I be stroking, you know what I'm saying? We're about to test this out.
Because you know how he got in that motherfucker.
Right. And, bruh, the way that they hype, when Tommy pulls that torch out, I remember this as a child. I don't know if it was actually when it aired or during syndication, but I remember being a kid and the way Martin swung him, you ain't got no job, man. And then afterwards with that thing somebody looked like jewelry and the way they hyped her up, bro. The way they hyped her up. And she in there, shout out to Tisha Campbell, the way she's voguing and really in it and looking at the mirror, how I look and really trying to convince, like, and that's how it is when you know something trash.
Your friends ain't hyping you like that. Hey, new friends.
And on top of that, if your friends also don't tell you the truth like that, because they tried and it was like, nah, man, you look crazy out here.
We can't do you like
can't even do you like that. We try to build your confidence up. We know you got a big meeting.
Yeah, straight up.
But that's just a crazy scenario to be in. Michael Collier, Showboat.
Showboat.
You know. We check out our House Party episode. We'll probably do House Party 3 one day.
Have to.
I don't plan on doing House Party 2 though.
Hell
nah. I mean, shout out to House Party 2, but nah. But he played Showboat in House Party 3. But Michael Collier's always been funny to me. And he killed it in this role, like the way that deadpan comedy, like, get it off.
Yeah.
You know, how'd your wife get it off? Get it off.
Get
like
it off.
All of that.
I'm messing with you, man. Yeah.
And I would have, for real, if I was Gina in that situation, I'd have just took the L and just went in with it. Like, there's a story behind it. Because I felt like if I can do this with this on my neck, like, somebody's got to rock with me. If I'm just sitting here doing, like, that's ultra confidence right there. Like, I look stupid. I look crazy as hell. Yeah. But I got this presentation to get, and this don't matter because I'm still me, like the whole nine. But this is a silly scenario. And Roscoe at the beginning, y'all doing a grown up and all that. Like, it's just a funny episode.
I don't think this is one of those episodes that I don't think, even like you said, we was watching in syndication, I don't think I understood how she got that headboard around her neck and shit. Like, we first watched it, I'm just like, like, it's just funny, so I'm laughing. But
her getting through that meeting, the whole nine, man, that outfit over here, this episode is timeless.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I can respect it being in, what's that? You said your number 2?
Yeah, my number 2. And I know what your number 1 is now that I know what your number 2 is. Your number 1 is my number 5. Go ahead.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Okay, then.
My number 1 is The Tooth Will Set You Free.
My number 5. Yeah, your number 1 is my number 5. That's what I said. I know you.
Yeah, man. That's and I think I have a theme. Because my last number 1 was a similar for season 3. Was just Pam and Martin, just that interaction, and like when you spoke on earlier, they took a typical sitcom thing, which is asking someone to play the main character, to pretend to be the main character.
Whoa! What number you on?
It's number 1.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. I don't even mean to cut you off, bro.
What?
How you know what you left off this list? You know what you left off this list, bruh. Hey, man, keep going, man. Keep going. I don't even know what you were saying, man. Keep going. Martin and Pam.
But yeah, anyway,
blah.
They did a typical sitcom thing, which is to ask another main star of the show to pretend to be the main guy, and Pam did a hell of a job pretending to be Martin, which is just working with him for the past 4 years, watching his mannerisms. She did them all.
She did them all.
I'm sick of this.
No, she really no. I love this episode. Everything you're saying right now is a reason it bumped into my top 5, and it was that performance by Tashina Arnold as Martin, and like you said, just you can tell they worked together for 4 seasons.
That toxic masculinity.
Slide.
Where Gene at? Where Gene at? You got a woman in check?
Yeah, like, man, you ain't gotta be sweating them, brother.
Yeah,
like
all that, man. Them first what's ups in the dentist office. What's up? Like, man.
Yeah, Tashina Arnold's
Tashina's
an incredible
great
actress.
Yeah, as she continues to show, as she continue to get work in 2022. So, shout out to her. But yeah, that's my number 1, man.
Listen,
just watch the episode.
Listen,
I ain't about
no. I'm not. Listen, my outburst wasn't even about the episode. That's cool, and I didn't mean to cut you off. But as you were talking, it dawned on me of an episode you didn't mention, even in your honorable mention.
Oh yeah.
How was DMV Blues not? That's my number 1. Like, how was that not even in the conversation?
I knew you haven't.
But it's not even in your honorable mention.
My bad.
You don't like?
Yes, I love it. It's in there. I love it. It's on there. I just skipped it. I don't know why I ain't put it in there,
bruh. Man,
but I knew you have it number 1 though. So I picked mine.
Hey man, don't do that no more to me, man. I was about to lose my bruh.
Classic.
Like I said, man, I ain't mean to even cut you off, bruh. But once I noticed that, I'm like, I know that he ain't leave DMV Blues off any kind of list. Yeah. Episode 25, April 25th, 1996, written by Charles Proctor. DMV Blues.
Classic.
Always been one of my favorite Martin episodes from the first time I saw it. I honestly went in. I didn't know if it would be my number one going into it. And even through my first few watches, like Blow Baby Blow was all right. When I made my list, and this is why season 4 is a little bit easier. Yes, there's a lot of good episodes and a lot of honorable mentions. Season 2, when I was trying to even pick my top 5, there was like 15 to choose from. I knew my top 3.
Yes.
You know what I mean? After my first watch, I knew my top 3 of season 4. And it was just about getting them in order. And 4 and 5 just sorted themselves out. And
my mindset is, not to cut you off, my mindset is we're doing our top 5, but I know we're only taking 2. And I knew
maybe 2, unless if we don't agree.
Yeah. But I knew what your number 1 was. Remember when we got in the car, you asked me, we think we have the same number 1? Yeah. I said no, because I knew what you would have number 1. So I'm like, I'm not going to pick that. I'm going, but I really should have had it in my honorable mention. So
it's not a top 5 for season 4 for you though?
Yeah, it's in there.
We'll talk about it in the finale. But yeah, like I said, always been a favorite of mine, and it still holds up.
Classic. Sherman
Hemsley is a phenomenal performance. I mean, you can tell he does this. Like, he's the OG of this.
Exactly.
You can tell he's the OG.
I was going to say that. He is the OG of toxic masculinity. Yeah. Sherman Hemsley. If you don't know, look it up. He's the guy. So for him to come and show and top Martin in toxic masculinity is insane, bro.
Yeah, incredible performance by him. Martin with the one-liners, the Pam riffs, the I bet you that's Pam. I know that scratching from anywhere. I told you. The one that was you scratching the clones, wasn't it? And obviously Pam giving it right back to him. Even that same scene, Martin, I can't believe it. And in 1995 or 1996 when that came out, that's a hilarious joke.
Yes.
I can't believe it.
Because anyway.
Martin bullying people. My fault, go ahead.
I was gonna say when he had the glass RESPCT,
yeah, unity and all that. But Martin bullying people, Martin thinking, and I mentioned this in season 3. Martin thinking he's a bigger star than what he is.
Yes,
and obviously season 3 is in the unemployment office and thinking people gonna recognize him. I ain't trying to start no ride. So if you want to go, like, bro, I got a TV, but I ain't seen you on it. Like, Martin, you ain't nobody. Yeah. And he pushing people at the front, bro. Push, bro.
Yeah, he did.
Like, I ain't on it.
And got to the and succeeded. Like,
the Miss Jerry fight. That's one of my favorite Classic. Martin scenes.
That's always
Miss Jerry just whooping on Martin, man. The physical comedy with Martin just going on with it. Her one-liners.
Start from
scratch is a classic Martin moment. Kyle Bentley Evans.
Yes.
The Almond Brown scene, the way he came up and checked off his box.
Like, I wrote a song about you.
Yeah, man. Hey, you see Martin trying to keep it together, man. You gotta turn your face away from the camera because he's getting weak. Because Kyle Bentley Evans is just funny.
Yes,
he proved that earlier. And then the dude that he was Poindexter that he was cheating off of, like that. I did study. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should have studied. I did study. That's
ad lib.
Everything is ad lib, man. You could tell he wasn't expecting that. Just the overall concept, man. Martin always thinking something gonna be in and out because he Martin Payne, word on the street host. So,
and his pride at the end, classic Martin. He couldn't tell Gina and Pam that he did not go to that restaurant and to that damn car show. He wasn't going. Nope. And Tommy better not say shit.
Especially coming knowing that they had a good day.
Yeah,
especially knowing they had a good day.
Yep.
And you stuck having to do everything you wanted to. You couldn't do what you wanted to do. You want to do it tomorrow, but now your girl got something for you.
Yep.
That's wild, man. But like I said, for that episode, for me, Hit 2 have always been one of my favorites, and to still hold up the way it does, had to be number 1. Like I said, I really went heading for trouble. That was up there, but it doesn't top DMV Blues, man. Once again, episode without Cole, which is odd. A lot of these episodes are odd. Like the Heading for Trouble episode, I don't think he was in there. Was really, you know what the weirdest Cole episode, him not being in, was the kick to the curb.
Yeah,
or on the street, whatever. What's the name of it? Yeah, kick to the curb.
Kick to the curb.
Because he would have been involved in the plot to get him, help him out. So where was I don't know what was going on, but that's just odd. Well, something that sticks out.
I ain't gonna get into that.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but we ain't gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much it. I said everything I wanted.
Classic
DMV Blues is being added to the list.
Classic seasons.
Yeah. DMV.
Shout out to Martin. Shout out to Sheena. Shout out to Tisha. Shout out to Carl. Shout out to Thomas. R.I.P.
Absolutely, man. Damn. Hey, man. DMV Blues getting added to the list for me.
Yes.
And what was your number one?
Come on, man.
Oh yeah, Two Chefs Set You Free. That's right. Hey man, you a wild boy, man. You a wild boy. You a funny dude, man.
That's you, man. Yeah, this nigga tried to beat me up in the middle of the pod. Y'all see it?
Nah, man.
What? You didn't have this? Yeah, man, I know you.
Yeah, you do. That's fair. That's fair. So appreciate y'all again for listening, watching. If you're on our YouTube channel, please remember to like, subscribe, and listen. We did drop an episode last Monday, Queen and Slim. Getting a lot of feedback on that. Just listen to it. It's a very, very entertaining episode because Rachel does not like that movie. Worst movie she's ever seen in her life, according to her. So please check that out. It's not on YouTube, but it is in our podcast feed. Yes. So we'll have the link here in our description.
Podcast, that's where it's at.
Yeah, Culture Garden Podcast is on there. Yeah. We do have another YouTube episode for a movie coming out this upcoming Monday with a guest on there. Rachel's not on this episode, but we do have a guest who has been on the podcast before. With the movie, it's the first movie we've done. I think we said it before. That's not a quote unquote movie of the culture. Yeah. But it's an all-timer. It's a classic. I think it's the best movie of the last 15 years. We'll get into it on Monday. But Martin series keeps rolling. We'll be back with y'all next Thursday with that. Y'all be cool. Y'all be cool. Peace.